Hey guys, it's Jill. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to our new. So today I'm going to talk about my test results. Before I start this video, I just want to say they definitely were not what I wanted to hear. And excuse the lighting. I usually film back, but I just want the security of my desk today for some reason. So, is that a turtle? I think it's just a pile of leaves, but it looks like it might be a turtle. Okay, we're gonna try to get through this. I know the lighting is darker on this side because I have my ring light on this side and it's wonky, whatever. This video is going up on both channels because I talked about the whole surgery situation on both channels, so I figured that I would share the results on both channels. So if you are subscribed to both channels, then you're probably like, I'm not doing this 2 times, I'm just not. Okay, so the results, first of all, I just want to say my heart goes out to every single person that has had to get some not so great news while you are sitting alone with the doctor and you don't have the emotional support of someone else there with you because, you know, due to COVID. It's like literally when he told me this news, I was in a friggin' daze. Like, I was just like, you just told me what? And it's like, okay, do you have any questions? It's like, well, you know, my heart just goes out to every single one of you. So I'm in the doctor's office and, you know, he gives me the good results first. Like, this test result that we took came back great, and, you know, your cervix looked amazing and blah, blah, blah. And this test result showed that it came out great. And this test result showed cancer. And it was like, wait, why didn't you just start out with that? Because, you know, I was really hopeful. I was like, it's going to be great. And the whole time that I was waiting, I was like, everyone in this office knows. Like, everyone that I'm coming in contact with knows. His nurse, she knows my results. And so I was like trying to like see if they had like empathy in their eyes or any kind of anything. Like, I even saw the doctor when I was like getting my finger pricked. And I was like, did he look like he has bad news for me? So anyways, okay, so he did a DNC, and then he also, so I'm guessing that's like scraping cells to see if those cells are cancer. That came out clear. He then did a cone biopsy, which is taking out a portion of your cervix, and he said usually they do like this much, but since I've had a tubal and I'm not having any more kids, he went in with like a good section of the cervix. So that came back that it had cancer on it. Now, he did say there's good news. It's not the spreading kind, which obviously is very good. It has not spread. The other part of the somewhat good news is that he thinks that he got it all. One thing that I love about my doctor is the fact that like he saw the results, and then he told me he started asking other doctors that he knows, like other colleagues, you know, if you had a patient with this and these test results, what would you do? Would you send her to an oncologist? Would you know, just give her a hysterectomy? Like, what would be your, you know, because obviously he knew what he wanted to do and what he thought was the best route of action to take after this. But he wanted to get the opinions of other doctors in the field, which I thought was amazing and I'm very grateful for. He did tell me that, you know, I can go see an oncologist if I wanted to. I don't really know, and because I was in such shock, you know, you hear oncologist, you're like, wait a minute. again, the good news is, and I'm sorry, I am very scattered in this video. Yes, absolutely, I 100% am, because I found this information out 2 days ago and I'm still trying to process all of this. So I'm breathing heavy, I'm breathing shallow, I'm breathing all kinds of weird, the lighting's all messed up, like just bear with me. My mind is going 100 miles a minute. But, you know, basically he asked me if I wanted to see an oncologist, and I said, if that's what you recommend, then I will. But if it's not something that I need to do, then I don't. Like, there's no reason for me to go see one. So he said that he thinks he got all of the cancer out. However, he demonstrated like this. Okay, the cancer's here. Well, there's also this spot right here that I could not biopsy and I could not take out. So this could have cancer. This over here could have cancer. I got this cancer out, but we don't know if there's cancer up here where we couldn't reach and over here. So basically I have to have a hysterectomy. And again, that was even something that he was like, you don't have to, but I feel like you and I both would feel best about this whole, he literally said cancer diagnosis. And when he said that, I was just like, wait, do I have cancer? Did I have cancer? Like, what is going on? Because you hear the words cancer diagnosis and you're just like, I don't know. Anyways, I don't even know where I was going with that, because that just the words cancer diagnosis is something that I wish on nobody. Especially I wish it on nobody when you're there alone with your doctor. Thank God I trust this doctor and I love this doctor and he's amazing. So I felt comfortable with him. But anyways, where was I going with this? I have the choice of whether I want to have a hysterectomy or not, because he said there's like a 2 to 3% chance that there is still cancer in my body. So that's a very small percentage, but for both of our peace of mind, it would be best that I get a hysterectomy. On this flip side, I asked him, well, is there anything that we can do for cycle control? And he was like, no, I will not do anything for cycle control, because if I give you an ablation, basically they're burning a lining, and when they do that, it can hide cancer cells. So he was like, I will never, now that you've had, you know, we saw that you had cancer and that there were cancer cells in your body, we will never give you an ablation, and no one will ever give you an ablation, because basically once it's there, the possibility is there that it could come back. So he won't do that. He won't do an IUD. I won't do birth control pills. So for cycle control, and if you guys don't know, and maybe you're just stumbling across this video for whatever reason, or maybe you just don't know my story, I have horrendous periods. Like for the past, I want to say 7 to 8 years, a week out of the month, I am a completely different person. I go through massive, severe PMS symptoms. I have panic attacks, like increased anxiety, increased depression. I have massive pain. I get really lightheaded and dizzy on like my heavy days. It literally it wipes me out for a week. I'm just gonna put it that way. It literally wipes me out for a week. My periods went from being like 5 days long to now like 8, 9 days long. So there really is no other option for me other than to have a hysterectomy if there's nothing else that we can do for cycle control, because I personally cannot continue to go on living life waiting for menopause to come and for me to like just stop having periods altogether. So that being said, he did tell me that he can leave my ovaries because there was no concern about the ovaries. It was just the cervix and I guess the uterus. So they're going to take that out. They're going to leave my ovaries so they don't send me into menopause, because I told him I have no interest in being sent into menopause, and I have no interest in taking any kind of hormonal replacements or anything like that. So with that being said, we are scheduling a hysterectomy for December. We're not quite sure because he wants me to completely heal fully from the cone biopsy and the DNC that we just did. And we also want to just go ahead and get this done with, because again, with the cone biopsy and the DNC, it's possible that it might temporarily give me relief for my periods. I don't know yet because I haven't had my period yet for October. And it's due to come like tomorrow actually. And I've definitely been PMSing this week. So fingers crossed it does give me a temporary relief and that I will be able to function this week. And then next month I'll also be able to function. But yeah, sometime the beginning of December is when we're going to schedule it. It's not actually scheduled yet. Obviously he told me that the recovery process is going to be way different for the hysterectomy than it was for the DNC and the cone biopsy, because you're actually like having incisions. It's the robotic thing. So he said there's small incisions like in your belly button and then a couple other in your stomach. But it's not like super bad. It's not like, did he say he had to cut me though too? I swear he said he had to cut me. Again, I can't really remember. Was I talking to him about the difference between the C-section and the hysterectomy? And that's why he said, because obviously when you have a C-section, you're being cut. And when you have a hysterectomy, I can't remember. I can't remember if he said he was going to have to cut me or not. I do remember asking him how long the surgery was going to be, and he said, for you, since you've had 2 C-sections, you probably have a lot of scar tissue that we're going to have to go through, and it's going to probably prolong the process. So it could be, usually it's 45 minutes for women who haven't had surgeries like that before, but for you it could be up to 3 hours. And I was like, So that's kind of scary, because last time I was put out was my very first time ever being put out. Because for my C-sections, I was just given a spinal. And for my tubal, I got it right after my daughter's C-section. So again, I just had my spinal and I wasn't put out for that. So this was the first time that I had been put out, and I think I was only out for like maybe 45 minutes. So it's a little scarier, to be honest. My mom has woken up in surgery before, so that's something that really scares me. It's like, thank God she had a hysterectomy at 42. So thank God she did not wake up through her hysterectomy, but she woke up in her tubal. And I was just like, So anyways, it's definitely something that's scary. When you hear the word cancer, it's very, very scary. And it's very hard to process the whole, like all of the emotions that come with that. I am very grateful on the fact, because 100% it absolutely can be worse, and I realize that. But on the flip side, it's also cancer, and it's also, even when all of this is taken out, it can still come back. It can still go to other places. So unfortunately, for the rest of my life, he said for the first 2 years I will have to have pap smears every 6 months. And if those come back continually where they are, you know, normal results, then they will switch me to just having a pap smear once a year for the rest of my life, basically. So again, that's not even like an issue, but it's just going to be the nerves that's going to come every single time you go to have that pap smear, waiting on those results, waiting to hear, did it come back? Is it there? You know, it's scary. Anyways, it is what it is. I'm just grateful again that it's not the spreading kind. And in the comments down below, I do not want to hear any horror stories. So please save those for someone else, because I have enough anxiety that I cannot handle horror stories. But I do know that a lot of you have said that you have had a hysterectomy. So if you have had a hysterectomy, especially if you have had a hysterectomy and a C-section, what's the comparison between the two as far as pain levels? Because I know with a C-section too, like that's surgery, that's major surgery. And You know, you have to take extra measures. You can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this for a certain amount of time. So, you know, and then it's also painful, but then you're also thrown into motherhood like right after. So it's so funny because my son was 9 pounds. My daughter told me not to lift anything over 10, and I'm like, or I think he said 5. No, it was close. It was like 8. It was close to what my son weighed, and I'm like, Doc, my son, like, I'm gonna. He's like, just be careful. But yeah, I would love to know, what is the process? Like, was it super painful? I do have a pretty high tolerance for pain. Like for my C-sections, when I got back from the hospital, I was not on any kind of pain medications. They really just knocked me out. I normally don't take a whole lot of pain medications. And so even just like 800 milligrams of Tylenol or Motrin, whatever they give you, like literally would knock me out on my butt. Again, I was also a new mother, so you know, you're already sleep deprived as is. So I didn't take any medication, and I was fine. I was able to move just fine. There were no complications. There wasn't like an excessive amount of pain where I'm like, oh my gosh, this hurts so bad. So it wasn't so bad, but I would just like to know, if you've had a C-section, what's the comparison in pain levels between the two? What's the difference in the recoveries between the two? And I think that's everything. Oh, and if you've had a hysterectomy, whether you've had one with a C-section or not, how was your recovery? Did it go well? What could you, like, he basically went through, you know, you can't lift things, you can't pick up heavy things, you are going to be like bedridden basically for a week. You know, obviously like you can get up and walk and stuff like that, but for the most part, like no household chores, no cooking, no none of that stuff. What else did he say? Definitely no working out for 4 to 6 weeks. Oh, that's another thing. My doctor did clear me. He said you can start walking. So he checked me and everything, and he said I'm healing beautifully and I can go on walks, but nothing more intense than that. And not even like intense walks, like just kind of strolling, kind of casual type walks. So I'm definitely gonna be doing that because I definitely need it, because this girl has been feeling the effects of not working out for several weeks now. So anyways, I'm just rambling at this point. I love you guys, and I will see you guys in the next one. By the way, there will be no vlog this week. I just kind of need to take the week off from vlogging and having the need to feel like I have to have a video or a camera everywhere I go. I'm just kind of over it, and I'm honestly still kind of processing all of this stuff. So yeah, there will be no vlogs this week for either one of my channels. No weekly vlog for my main channel, and no day in the life vlog for my, I don't think. I might feel differently this weekend, so there might be a vlog next week for my weight loss channel, but for sure for my main channel there will not be a weekly vlog because it's Wednesday already and I haven't picked up a camera once. So yeah, that will do it for this video. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Editing Jill here. I just want to urge all of you women that you need to take your health seriously, and you need to make it a priority. I get it. We have children. We have lots of responsibilities. We are single mamas. We are married mamas. We're working mamas. We're stay-at-home mamas. We are all kind of everything. But you need to take care of you, and you need to make sure that you are healthy. So I just am sharing this story to urge anyone that's watching this that knows that there's something wrong, or there's something that could be wrong, go get checked out. Make sure you're getting your yearlies. Make sure you're getting your mammograms if you're 40 and above. Make sure you're getting your physicals every year. It's so important, and it's something that is so easy to just put on the back burner and say, oh, I'll get it done next year. So I urge you to not put off your health any longer. Love you guys. Hope you have an amazing day.